have the option of using my cooldowns as defensive as possible directly backwards or out of the center to reset the position. And it doesn't matter what your aggressive comp is, that's still an option.
Okay. So the comp seem to be finalized, and we have Mirror Blossoms along with an Iva for blue team and a Taya for red team.
I like the come off the melee entirely and ban out the Pearl. That makes a lot of sense to me.
So we're having a match that's similar to the other match from the losers finals. The Iva Blossom in the first game. But
Oh yeah, but they left Taya open, which is going to be an issue for that Iva.
I'm not sure it's going to be too much of a problem because I think if Taya, Iva could really lay into this Blossom. I feel like once they get a good opening for aggression, Iva could go super aggressive, jump in with that flamethrower and just Blossom down, even in retreat.
This was an amazing match.
Absolutely.
Right down to the wire there in that third round.
Even though it was a 3-0, it felt competitive.
Mm-hmm. I think that in this match we're gonna see a situation where the Iva is staring the Taya in the face, and the Taya is able to bob in and out of the range of that shotgun, and really punish the Iva if he's unable to land a taser in time.
It's going to come down to how commanding Taya can be in the face of this Iva and how well she can peel her Blossom when the Iva tries to dive. No team really taking any damage so far, trading some abilities, Iva getting some good poke in the tree, taking control of the center, but Taya is so fast, trying to find these boomerangs, not landing too much, but both teams have access to the center, and everybody just throws shit at it until blue team takes it. And looking for these stuns, looking for these boomerangs, getting good trade damage back. Taya can't really compete. Looking in trouble. Blossom on the outside, Red Blossom on the outside, looking to pressure this Iva. Iva goes in aggressively with the jump, however, she just gets knocked away with the Taya, gets scared. I think Taya got too scared. I think she had the advantage there. But Iva is still safely traded up from that, but red team gets the orb. And the red tree Blossom comes down. Good zoning by red team, but Taya comes too forward. Iva just confidently walks up and starts damaging this Taya down. Taya not able to trade any damage back. Missile chunking the Blossom. Tree coming out, trying to zone, trying to block skill shots. Blue team Blossom doing an excellent job of keeping her team topped off. And another orb coming out to red team, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Blue team just looking super, super dominant. Iva just controlling so much space. Blue team keeping her team topped off. Taya just can't compete. She can't lay the damage out that she needs to. Jumping away desperately, leaving her Blossom alone to get chunked out by the Iva. Iva going super aggressive, but she jumps into Taya's zone, and Taya trades back so much damage. And Iva just gets chunked out. Orb goes to some team. Blossom trying to defend her Iva. Taya denying with the wind wall. Jumping away, super chunked. It could be anybody's team, though the red team Blossom is so much lower. Blossom laying into the red team Taya, forcing them back by herself, buying space for her Iva to control the center, waiting for this orb to come up, and it's about to spawn, and it comes up, and blue team takes the orb with the Iva very confidently, securing it, while red team flounders trying to pressure the Blossom. Blossom very effectively frontlining, but taking so much damage. Where is the tree? The crazy R to knock them both out, and the huge shift space to chunk out Taya, and Iva just comes in to assist her Blossom in killing the Taya. Blossom.
Wow.
The three
You got that all in one breath.
smash.
That was sick.
Very competitive match, but it looks like Iva is just having a lot more control for the center and got a lot more trade damage, and just
Yeah, as soon as the Taya is under pressure to end the game, because as soon as the board is congested, then she's in trouble.
Iva just seems to have a lot more space control and a lot more trade potential in her shotgun position. Taya wastes things, and when it gets in close, then she's just gonna get super chunked. Iva goes in very aggressive, forces the Taya to go over the wall. They need to collapse on this Blossom, but they don't punish, but they do take the orb. They take control of the center, but they've somehow switched sides. Taya going very forward. Blossom and Taya out of sync, going forward at different times to try to force the blue team off of their partner, but ended up creating no damage back. Blue team looking very confident as they go forward here. Iva trying to get big damage back, but just ends up getting kind of chunked. But again, Blossom coming with the ult to secure the orb. Taya trying to peek around the corner, trying to get some cheeky damage, but she just kind of leaves her Blossom to try to fight for the center by herself, and Blossom uses her energy to not really accomplish too much. Taya jumping in, managing to take control of the center, forcing blue team back. Blue team on the back foot, not really having an answer to the super aggressive Taya. Taya wanting the orb, and they take it. Blue team not competing for the orb. Big ult by Blossom, but it just gets kind of denied by the Iva shield. Iva being forced to jump away, getting chunked on the outside. Taya controlling the wall of blue team Blossom, forcing away the red team Blossom. Taya trying to help out her red team Blossom by fighting the blue team Blossom, but it's not enough, forcing the red team Blossom away, and meanwhile blue team collapse on Taya, get some good damage, take control back of the orb, but a huge shift space by Blossom to chunk out the orb with that fat 30 damage. Taya coming in with a big ult, but she's in the middle of her incapacitate, wasting a lot of that ultimate duration, and now she's back to no energy, and the board state is kind of reset at the moment, except blue team Blossom has 100 energy. What is she going to do with it? Iva goes super aggressive. Blue team Blossom with a huge ult, but red team Blossom just snipes the orb, just walks it in, forces blue team off the map. Iva fighting to stay alive, almost no health. Her Blossom is all the way over to the other side of the map, and red team take her down, and blue team Blossom can't do anything as she just gives up and they walk her in.
Very tight match, to say the least.
Very good comeback by red team. However, the team is looking very competitive, and I think they would have had it if they didn't flounder. Weren't sure what to do with that. The center control, they got a little too aggressive at the wrong times, I think.
There's also a reflect and an orb that was really big from the blue Blossom.
AoE trying to control the center. Iva looking for angles on the outside, jumps defensively back, looking for the chunks, finds it with the missile, but good Blossom R from the red team to pressure forward, and the orb is coming up. Both teams are looking for control. Everybody's bursting it down. It's anybody's. Goes to the red team. Team looking for control of the center, but they're playing a little too far forward as they get split. Iva tries to reconsolidate with her Blossom, and they manage to get some good return damage on the red team Blossom. Taya, meanwhile, playing frontline, taking control of the center with her wind tornado, forcing Blossom out. However, she's getting chunked as the blue team recollapses, and then they recollapse right again on the Blossom, and both red team members get chunked out as blue team just take the center and the orb very commandingly while chunking both red team members. Blue team maintaining control of the center. Taya trying to peek from the outside, while Blossom reconsolidating with her Iva with a huge ult, bursting down all of Taya's health to just take her down so quickly on the outside, and Blossom couldn't do anything to protect her carry. And she's trying to stay alive, trying to do something in the 1v2. It's pretty fruitless, but I hope she's able to do something, and there goes the blue team once again. Huge by Iva.
Amazing for Iva to see that opportunity to spend all of her energy and commit to an ultimate while the Taya is running for the line of sight, and manages to get it despite the Blossom going for that reflect.
In that coin flip for the orb, red team managed to take it, and I think that was a crucial lead that gave them enough of an advantage to pressure and keep the momentum going. And blue team just very calmly walked in the last game, and the red team getting a little panic, splitting up, trying to re-engage off of each other, trying to consolidate, and they just ended up getting V1'd over and over. The blue team collapsed and got good damage out. Meanwhile, getting some good poke damage and on this blue team Blossom. Red team taking control of the center, chunking out both enemy members. Great R by Blossom to force them back and absorb some projectiles. Taya laying in some good damage, good AoE. Iva forced to go defensively back. Red team takes the orb, maintains the control of the center. Taya laying in some great pressure, peeking this corner, masterful control of this south wall here. knocks the Blossom back, forces her off. They try to look for some damage on this Taya, on this Iva. Great R by Blossom. Taya, Blossom has 100 energy. Can she make a play with it? The red team just maintained control of that center, and blue team didn't even look at the orb by the time it was done to red team. And Taya just looking really, really strong this game, taking control of the center. And Red Team Blossom tried to ult, but got interrupted by the Iva. Iva going aggressive to try to defend her Blossom, but both of them are getting chunked out. And Taya smells blood and goes super aggressive, keeping them out. And the orb spawns, and Red Team wants it, but they do not work together enough to get it. But they managed to clinch it with that back end of that Taya boomerang. Meanwhile, blue team are split, and unfortunately, too much damage is coming to this Blossom. And as soon as they reconsolidate, Taya just goes super aggressive onto the Iva, gets so much damage. Iva trying to return damage, but there's nothing to be had. Blossom, Taya playing front to back. Blossom getting all the healing she ever wants under Taya. So much control of the orb, but blue team steals it. Iva forward with the shotgun, jumps in aggressively, but the wind wall stops the Iva. So much damage as Taya comes around the backside to get the angle. Blue team forced onto the northwest corner outside. What can they do? Taya going super aggressive, jumping in, bouncing away. Iva trying to make something happen with the shield. So much shotgun missile, ult by the blue. Blossom gets so much damage. They're returning this game, and another orb for blue team. They managed to steal it, and they just gunned down the Taya. So much damage. Huge ult by blue team Blossom to take back control of the center after being forced all the way to the outside and looking so low and rough.
That was amazing. We saw again that once the position becomes congested by the circle coming in, that the Taya just starts to fall apart.
That was a much better showing by the red team. What they were trying to do with their team comp, they did it that game, but blue team managed to stay in there, stay alive. They never gave up, even though it was looking really rough. Never lost their mental. They knew strengths, and they played to their win con, and eventually they just edged right back in there with ult some key jumped in with flamethrower. Very close game, a really competitive game.
Yeah, there were some split-second decisions, like the Blossom barely got the first shot of her ultimate off before the in-cap came in from the Iva. Just amazing. And the Iva
was an amazing cancel.
Or the Iva coming in aggressively with the shotgun flamethrower combo, and even just to push the Iva out of range with the R. Just such tight play.